God says, "Don't test my patience." God is very angry with you. This is the last time God is flashing this urgent message on your screen. A check of $787 million has been issued in your name. The devil wins if you skip this. The words you just read are not a mistake. They are not a coincidence. They are not just random lines scrolling across your screen. They are a holy interruption. A divine confrontation. This is not entertainment, this is a sacred warning. What you are reading right now is not something to casually scroll past or brush off. It is not something to come back to later. This is the last time God is allowing this message to interrupt your life before the door closes. There is a spiritual urgency wrapped in these words, and they are not meant to be taken lightly. These are not just words, they are a trumpet blast from heaven straight into your soul. This is the sound of God crying out to you, because His patience is reaching its final stretch. If you know deep down that you have felt God's calling but you have delayed, ignored, or postponed your response, this is for you. If you have hardened your heart, turned your back, gone cold, chosen comfort over conviction, or silence over surrender, God is saying right now, this is your final chance. If you still believe in God's mercy and favor, comment Amen right now. A check of $787 million has been issued in your name. Do not take this as metaphor or myth. In the spiritual realm, this check represents more than money. It is a divine deposit. It is heaven's promise for your breakthrough, your restoration, your healing, your freedom, your calling, your peace, your future. It is God's written and sealed covenant for everything you thought was lost, delayed, or denied. But the enemy wants you to dismiss this moment. He wants you to keep scrolling. Because if you ignore this, the devil wins. If you think this is not for you, if you let your pride or pain or past tell you that this message is not serious, then the one who's been trying to ruin your life wins another round. God's patience has limits. Yes, He is merciful. Yes, He is forgiving. But He is also just. He is holy. He is jealous for your heart. And when you have been warned again and again and again, and you still continue walking in your own way, doing what pleases your flesh, ignoring the voice that once softened your heart, the time eventually runs out. This is not punishment. This is love on fire. This is love that refuses to let you go to ruin without one final cry. God is very angry with you, not because He hates you, but because you are throwing away what He died to give you. You are sleeping on grace. You are playing with mercy. You are pretending as if His promises are not real and His warnings are just suggestions. You are taking what is holy and treating it like something optional. You are missing the urgency of the hour. You are being distracted by shadows while eternity is knocking on your door. God has issued the check. The amount has already been written. The angels have already been sent. The door is already open. But if you do not reach out with faith, if you do not respond with surrender, if you keep living the same way after this moment, then the check will remain unclaimed. And the devil, who has watched you delay your destiny, will celebrate in silence. Don't let that happen. This message is not to shame you. It is to shake you. Because the enemy has lulled you into numbness. The world has numbed your sensitivity to God. But this message is the roar of a lion who still calls you his own. This is your wake-up call, not for fear, but for fire. This is your moment of rescue. The check is real. It is symbolic of the blessings, promises, abundance, healing, favor, calling, peace, and restoration God has written in your name. You have no idea how many things God has protected you from already. You do not even know how many prayers have been stored up for you, how many angels have been assigned to you, how many doors are already standing open for you, waiting for your obedience. You may think you are running out of chances, but this is not about chances anymore. This is about obedience. This is about surrender. This is about stepping into what has already been prepared for you before the foundation of the world. If this has reached you, do not let it pass. God's hand is stretched out. But if you pull away again, if you turn your heart cold again, if you continue testing His patience with delay and disobedience, there will come a time when His voice will no longer call your name the same way. It is not that God will leave you. It is that your heart will grow deaf to Him. Your soul will grow numb. And that is the most dangerous place to be. God is still for you. He is still ready to redeem the time. He is still willing to heal what is broken and restore what has been stolen. But it starts with you not ignoring this anymore. It starts with you letting go of pride, fear, guilt, or shame. It starts with you remembering that this message was not written to a crowd. It was written to you. Heaven has written your name on this check. It is yours. But God will not force you to cash it. He will not make you obey. He is giving you this one final flash of holy fire before the season closes. Don't let this moment be wasted. Don't let the devil win by making you scroll past this. Don't let your destiny slip through your fingers because you treated this as anything less than holy. What if 7 seconds is all it takes to flip your financial fate? A shocking CIA leak just exposed a hidden brain ritual helping ordinary people erase debt and pull in massive wealth. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning struggle into luxury fast. But this page could be erased any moment. Click the link in the first comment now before it's gone forever. If you feel even a flicker of conviction, respond with obedience. Not with emotion, not with delay, not with another promise to change later. Move now. Pray now. Cry out now. Turn your heart now. The Spirit of God is closer than you know, and He is calling you to remember who you are and whose you are. If you believe this is a word from heaven, if you feel the power of God touching your heart right now, if something inside you is trembling, then do not ignore it. You were never meant to walk in confusion, in fear, in spiritual poverty. God created you for more. The check is a divine symbol of the inheritance already sealed for you. But inheritance is not activated by knowledge alone. It is activated by obedience. And this obedience must start now. If you believe this word is yours, like this video now. That small step of faith is a seed. And when heaven sees the seed, heaven moves. Not because God needs proof, but because your act of faith tells the enemy that you still believe, you still trust, you are still standing. God is not finished with you. He is not giving up on you. But He will not wait forever. This is your moment. This is your warning. This is your rescue. Comment 11:11 if you believe this word is for you. There are angels waiting on your response. There is breakthrough on the edge of your yes. There are miracles being withheld by your delay. The check is waiting. God is still calling. The enemy is hoping you will stay asleep just a little longer. The weight you feel right now is not pressure from life. It is the holy weight of His presence reminding you that you were made for more than just survival, more than silence, more than delay. God is pulling you out of the shadows you've been living in, because He still sees you as chosen. He still calls you beloved. God is not angry at you just to scare you. He is angry because He loves you too much to leave you in the hands of the enemy. His anger is not destruction. It is protection. His wrath is not hate. It is passion. It is the passion of a father who has watched you fall again and again into the same traps, who has seen the way you cry yourself to sleep and yet still run back to the very thing that breaks you. He has waited. He has called. He has whispered. But now He is shouting. He is flashing this message across your life one last time. The check in your name is still unclaimed. And God is holding it out in His hands. It is not money He's offering. It is fullness. It is joy. It is healing. It is restoration. It is answers. It is identity. It is purpose. It is clarity. It is destiny. The amount written on it is not 787 million in currency. It is 787 million in miracles, in breakthroughs, in promises that are yes and amen in Christ. It is symbolic of the overflow He wants to release into your life, but only if you choose to believe, obey, and move. God is saying He cannot wait forever. He has already opened doors you have not walked through. He has already released favor you have ignored. He has already spoken words over your life that are still waiting for your agreement. Your delay is costing you more than time. It is costing you alignment. And if you continue to test His patience, you risk forfeiting the very things He has written for you before time began. This is not to scare you. It is to break through the spiritual numbness. Because too many distractions have clouded your mind. Too many voices have pulled you away from your purpose. Too many lies have told you that you're not ready, that you're not worthy, that it's too late. But God is cutting through all of that right now. His Spirit is coming like fire, not to destroy, but to burn away everything that has kept you stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not too far gone. But you must stop playing with delay. You must stop testing how far you can go before the edge gives way. You must stop flirting with the enemy who only wants to steal, kill, and destroy everything that is still being written in your story. You were created for glory. You were created to walk in the fullness of God's presence. But that can't happen if you keep living like you are disconnected from heaven. The enemy is hoping that you will stay passive. He knows the moment you wake up, the moment you fully surrender, the moment you step into obedience, the tide turns. He loses territory. And you gain access. That is why this message feels so heavy. That is why your heart is racing. Because your spirit knows this is more than just a message. It is a line being drawn. Heaven is waiting for your yes. Hell is hoping for your silence. You are not standing at a casual decision. You are standing at a spiritual gate. The check is not a gimmick. It is God's way of showing you that something massive, something supernatural, something beyond your understanding has already been released in your name. But it will not activate until you choose to say yes with your life, not just your lips. This is not about religion. This is about relationship. This is about surrender. The pain you've carried, the confusion you've battled, the dreams you've buried, God knows all of it. He has seen every tear. He has counted every night you questioned your worth. He was there when people left. He was there when you lost what you thought you couldn't live without. He was there when the fire in your heart grew cold. And He's here now, calling you back into alignment. Not with shame, but with purpose. If you believe this is God confirming what you've felt for so long, comment 222 to declare your trust in His word. People are asking why money is suddenly flowing into random lives. A leaked CIA discovery reveals a 7-second brain ritual that quietly rewires your mind for wealth. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, people are wiping out debt and stepping into luxury with ease. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. He is calling you out of delay. He is calling you out of fear. He is calling you into bold, surrendered, obedient faith. The kind of faith that doesn't wait for perfect circumstances. The kind of faith that doesn't require a full understanding, just a full yes. The kind of faith that opens gates and releases miracles. That is the kind of faith that cashes the check God has written in your name. There is more waiting for you than you have ever imagined. You have barely scratched the surface of the purpose planted inside of you. The enemy has been trying to convince you that your best days are behind you, but God is saying your appointed time has just begun. You are stepping into a season of recovery, redemption, and release. But you must respond. You must choose now. You must return to the one who first called your name before anyone else knew who you were. God is not a man that He should lie. His promises are still alive. His Spirit is still moving. But His patience is not endless. That is why this message feels like a storm and a sunrise at the same time. Because it is both a warning and an invitation. It is both fire and mercy. It is the fierce love of a God who is jealous for your heart. Do not delay again. Do not scroll away. Do not silence this tug in your heart. This is your holy interruption. This is your moment of divine alignment. The check is still waiting. The angels are still watching. The door is still open. But how long it stays open depends on your response. You are not reading this by chance. Heaven orchestrated this moment with precision. You are being marked by God's presence again. You are being pulled back into the flow of divine destiny. This is sacred. This is serious. This is now. Let this word settle deep in your soul. Let it stir your heart again. Let it awaken the fire that has not gone out, only been buried. Because God is not done with you. And the enemy has not won. Not if you respond right now. Not if you surrender now. Not if you move forward now. And right now, God is calling you to rise, not with empty strength, but with holy surrender. Because the season has shifted. The time has changed. The spiritual realm is no longer waiting. It is moving. And if you do not move with it, you will miss what heaven is pouring out. The check of $787 million written in your name represents more than favor, more than financial provision, more than answered prayers. It represents what has already been sealed in the blood of Jesus for you. It is everything the cross purchased for your life. It is the restoration of your soul, the renewal of your mind, the healing of your heart, the revival of your purpose, the rising of your calling, the strength to finish what God started in you. But none of it will manifest if you keep playing with time, if you keep ignoring His voice, if you keep pretending like this message isn't the exact confirmation your spirit has been begging for. God is not waiting for perfection. He is not asking you to have it all together. He is not angry because you fell. He is angry because you stopped getting up. You started settling in the same cycle. You stopped fighting for your fire. You got comfortable in the same prayers with no power, the same habits with no conviction, the same distractions that keep you numb. But He has not stopped loving you. He has not stopped calling you. He has not stopped preparing the way ahead of you. Every delay, every moment of hesitation, every time you scroll past what God meant to be a word for you, the enemy counts it as a win. He doesn't need to destroy you if he can distract you. He doesn't have to kill your calling if he can convince you to ignore it. He doesn't need to take your life if he can take your attention. And that is why this message feels so intense. Because the battle right now is not around you. It's within you. The war is not outside. It is in your spirit. And heaven is shouting for your soul to wake up and take back what is already yours. The check has your name on it. The breakthrough has already been approved. The healing is already released. The angels are already moving. But you are the only one who can activate it. You are the only one who can say yes. You are the only one who can choose obedience. God will not force His will into your life. He waits for the door of your heart to open wide. And for some of you, this is the last time He is knocking this loudly. He is not just angry. He is grieving. Because He sees what you are capable of. He sees the fire He put in you. He sees the gifts that are still buried. He sees the calling you're still running from. And He knows the cost of your delay. Not just what you lose, but who is attached to your obedience. There are people waiting for you to walk in your purpose. There are lives tied to your yes. There are nations in your voice. And every time you delay, the weight of what's inside you presses deeper into the earth, buried under shame and fear and distraction. But no more. Not now. God is speaking again. His voice is clear. His Spirit is stirring. His fire is falling. And He is calling you to rise, to awaken, to remember. He is calling you to stop testing how far His patience will stretch, and start trembling before His holiness again. Not with fear, but with reverence. Not with guilt, but with surrender. Because you were made for this. You were born for this moment. You were set apart long before you ever messed up. You were chosen when you still didn't believe. You were loved before you even knew what love was. Why is everyone rushing to this 7-second brain ritual? Leaked CIA files exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the door to wealth fast. Verified by 4 top neuroscience labs, it's turning financial stress into abundance almost overnight. But this secret won't stay public for long. Click the link in the pinned comments before it's deleted forever. God's anger is not the end of your story. His warning is a doorway into a new beginning. But you must take it seriously. You must stop looking for another confirmation. This is it. This is the confirmation. This is the word. This is the moment. If you do not respond now, if you continue to sit in silence while heaven is shaking, then the enemy will not have stolen your blessing, he will have watched you give it away. If you feel the weight of these words and know this is your time to realign with heaven, comment 333 to declare your faith is rising. God is still willing to restore what the locusts have eaten. He is still ready to rebuild the ruins. He is still able to take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. But He is looking for surrender. Not promises. Not plans. Surrender. That's where it all begins. That's how you step into the promise. That's how the check is cashed. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to say yes. The weight of His presence is real right now. That tug in your spirit is not random. That tightness in your chest is not fear. That trembling you feel is the Spirit of God calling you deeper. And the moment you say yes, heaven moves. Chains start to break. Clarity begins to flow. Peace returns. Fire comes back. Boldness rises. Doors start to open. The things you've been crying for in secret begin to shift. Because God responds to surrender. Not performance. Not perfection. Just surrender. There is a new chapter already written in the books of heaven. But you will never walk in it unless you let go of the old one. God cannot fill hands that are still holding yesterday. He cannot pour new oil into hearts that refuse to make room. You must be willing to release, to trust, to move, to believe again. And even if your faith is small, if you give Him your yes, He will do the rest. He always has. You have not missed it. But you are running out of time. The season has shifted. The clock has moved. The gates are opening. But not for long. This is the season of suddenlies, of divine alignments, of accelerated breakthrough. But only for those who are listening. Only for those who are awake. Only for those who stop testing the mercy of God and start trembling at His voice again. You are not alone. Heaven is for you. Angels are with you. The Holy Spirit is stirring within you. The Father is reaching toward you. But the choice is still yours. Your destiny will not be forced upon you. You must rise. You must obey. You must say yes. And you must say it now. The enemy has tried again and again to shut you down, to bury you under guilt, confusion, fear, addiction, cycles, and regrets. But you are here. And you are reading this now because heaven refuses to let you go without a fight. God's voice is not soft in this hour. His tone is not gentle because time is short. He has been patient. He has been kind. He has waited for you to return, to listen, to fall at his feet again with your whole heart. But instead, you drifted. You wandered. You tested how far you could go before things broke beyond repair. You pushed the line. You silenced his voice. You hardened your heart. And now, God is not whispering. He is roaring. Because the hour has come where your delay cannot continue. There is a holy ache in his voice when he says he is angry. Not because you are worthless, but because you are precious. Because you are worth more than the choices you've been making. Because your destiny was never meant to be a maybe. It was always supposed to be a yes. Your anointing was not meant to be paused. It was supposed to break chains. But your silence has made space for the enemy to take what belongs to you. And now, heaven is shouting for your soul to wake up. The check is still waiting. That symbolic 787 million is not fiction. It represents the fullness of what has been signed, sealed, and promised over your life. It represents what your lineage needs you to receive. It represents the promises your children need you to walk in. It represents everything the enemy has stolen and everything God is ready to restore, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. But you cannot access it with a heart that's still playing with compromise. You cannot receive it with hands still holding rebellion. You cannot treat what is holy like it is optional. The Spirit of God is crying out for your attention, for your surrender, for your faith. Not halfway. Not once a week. Not when you feel like it. But fully. Now. Completely. Because the window is closing. Not because God is cruel, but because He is a God of order. And there are doors that only stay open for a season. When that season ends, what you could have walked through will be given to someone else. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were unwilling. This is not the time to wonder if this message is really for you. This is not the time to assume that God will come back later with another reminder. This is the reminder. This is the interruption. This is the voice of a God who still believes in you, still calls you, still sees you, still wants you, still loves you with the kind of love that flipped heaven upside down just to win you back. If you feel the tears rising, the heart pulling, the trembling in your chest, it is because the Spirit is speaking directly to you. This is a spiritual moment. Do not let your flesh ignore what your spirit is hearing. What you do right now matters. This moment is alive. It is sacred. It is the kind of moment that shifts the course of your life forever. If you believe this, comment 555 as a declaration of grace and surrender. Is this the same CIA brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak reveals a powerful 7-second technique developed under secret research. Backed by neuroscience, people are moving from debt to wealth and luxury faster than believed possible. But this secret may be deleted soon. Click the link in the comments before it disappears. God's anger is not the kind of wrath that comes to destroy without hope. It is a fire that refines, that purifies, that burns away every idol you've allowed to rise above His presence. And right now, God is bringing down everything that's been keeping you away from Him. That relationship. That distraction. That sin. That excuse. That voice in your mind that says you'll come back to Him tomorrow. That voice is lying. Because tomorrow is not promised. Only this moment is. You don't need to figure everything out. You just need to fall. Fall into His arms again. Fall into His grace. Fall into the fire that doesn't consume but transforms. Let the tears come. Let the surrender be real. Let the pride die. Let the anger go. Let the fear break. Let the silence end. Because this is not about how strong you are. This is about how faithful He is. You have no idea how much power has been locked inside your obedience. You have no idea how many doors will swing wide when you return to God. You have no idea how much favor will overflow when you stop testing His patience and start trembling at His name again. You have no idea how many battles will be won in a single act of surrender. But God knows. And that is why He's shouting through this screen right now. The enemy wanted you numb. He wanted you too tired to care. He wanted you too guilty to believe you could still return. He wanted you too distracted to notice this moment was holy. But grace wins when you say yes. Heaven moves when you say yes. The chains break when you say yes. God's face shines on you again when you say yes. You are not unredeemable. You are not too far gone. You are not forgotten. The check is still waiting. The name on it is still yours. The angels are still holding it out. But the time to receive it is now. Not after you feel better. Not after you clean yourself up. Not after you get everything under control. Now. Because the moment your yes is real, heaven will do what you cannot. There is something eternal happening right now. Something that has nothing to do with this world's noise. Something sacred. Something holy. Something divine. The kind of thing you only feel when God Himself interrupts your timeline to remind you that you still belong to Him. Do not waste this. Do not walk away from this. Do not forget how this made you feel. Because this is more than emotion. It is awakening. God is choosing to speak to you again because He sees what is still possible. He knows what is still buried in you. He knows how many miracles are still assigned to your name. He knows the sound of your voice when it is finally free. He knows the kind of light you carry when you are no longer chained to your past. This moment is real. The fire you feel is real. The love is real. The warning is real. And the breakthrough is closer than your next breath. This is a divine shaking. This is a loud cry from the throne room of heaven, bursting through the noise of your life, the chaos in your mind, and the distractions around you. God is speaking in fire because your soul cannot afford another delay. He is reaching through everything just to remind you that you have not been forgotten, but you are dangerously close to stepping outside of the grace meant to protect you. You have been walking a line. You have been trying to hold on to both comfort and calling, both the world and the Word, both your will and His. But that path has led to exhaustion, to silence, to spiritual confusion. God is telling you now, with urgency burning in His voice, that this is the final call before the shift. You cannot keep testing His patience without consequence. You cannot keep ignoring the weight of this moment and think that nothing will change. The check of $787 million in your name was not placed there by accident. It is not a gimmick or a joke. It is heaven's prophetic picture of what is being offered to you in this very hour. It is the release of years of prayers, the accumulation of favor, the storehouses of grace, the answers, the freedom, the clarity, the restoration of everything you thought was beyond reach. But a check can remain uncashed if the hand holding it is distracted. If the heart behind it is disobedient. If the soul receiving it keeps pushing away the one who authored it. God has been patient, and He is still loving. But His love is not weak. His love is not passive. His love is not indifferent. His love confronts. His love demands a decision. His love calls for surrender. His love rebukes every lie that keeps you thinking this is not for you. And right now, His love is coming in the form of a holy warning. Not to scare you, but to wake you up before it's too late. The enemy has tried to convince you that you've gone too far, that your delay disqualified you. But it hasn't. What disqualifies you is not your failure. It's your refusal to rise. The devil knows that if you say yes now, if you respond to this call, if you turn your heart back completely, his grip on you is broken. His plans for your mind collapse. His agenda for your life burns up in holy fire. If you believe this word has reached you right on time, and that God is speaking directly to your heart, comment 1212 to declare divine alignment over your life. Heaven is closer than it's ever been. The Spirit of God is hovering over your life, stirring the waters, waiting for your movement, waiting for your obedience. God does not want your perfection. He wants your yes. He wants your surrender. He wants your willingness to be undone in His presence, so He can remake you the way He always intended. Because you are not beyond His reach. You are not beyond restoration. Do you know why people keep whispering about this 7-second CIA ritual? A leaked brainwave method is spreading quietly and changing financial realities worldwide. Proven by neuroscience, this simple ritual attracts money, freedom, and luxury. If you're seeing this, you're so lucky. Click the link in the comments before it's taken down. That weight you feel pressing on your chest is not heaviness from the world. It is glory. It is God placing His hand back on your heart and reminding you what it feels like to be called. You haven't lost the calling. You've just silenced the voice. But that voice is roaring again, stronger than ever, louder than every fear, every failure, every voice that tried to keep you stuck in shame. God is clearing the path right now. He is removing what blocked your vision. He is breaking what bound your spirit. He is exposing every lie that told you to wait one more day. There are no more days to waste. There are no more moments to play with. This is the season where you either rise or retreat. And God is standing with open arms, but He will not keep calling forever if your heart keeps saying later. The doors that are about to open require a different version of you. A surrendered you. A healed you. A bold you. A pure you. A faith-filled you. And God is willing to do the work, but only if you stop testing His mercy and start trusting His timing. That check in your name has not been lost, but the enemy is working overtime to make sure you miss it. He wants you to stay distracted, addicted, numb, distant, passive. But God is calling you to take it back. To cash it in faith. To move like you believe again. You don't need another sermon. You don't need another song. You don't need another emotional moment. You need a decision. A real one. One that shifts your spirit. One that sets your life back on the altar. One that puts God first again, not out of fear, but out of fire. Because the fire of God doesn't destroy, it purifies. It refines. It reignites what the enemy tried to smother. The promise is still alive. The calling is still real. The miracle is still scheduled. The heavens are still open. The oil is still flowing. But the vessels must be ready. You must be empty enough for God to fill you again. You must be humble enough to fall on your knees. You must be desperate enough to cry out. That's where the turning happens. That's where everything shifts. The devil doesn't fear the you who scrolls past this. He fears the you who weeps before God again. He fears the you who says yes in surrender, who prays without pretending, who chooses obedience even when it costs something. That is the version of you the enemy has been trying to kill. But that version is waking up again. That version is rising again. That version is returning to the feet of Jesus, broken and surrendered, but completely chosen. God is not through with you. He is not done speaking. He is not done healing. He is not done moving. But you must move with Him. You must align with what He's doing. You must position yourself in obedience, because the oil flows where the heart is ready. The blessing is poured out where the pride is laid down. The miracle comes where faith is louder than fear. Let this be the moment that marks your return. Let this be the moment where heaven writes down your name and says, "They turn back today." Let this be the moment where you fall in love with the voice of God again, where you tremble at His word again, where you remember who you are and why you're still here. Because you're not here by chance. You're not alive because of luck. You're still here because grace kept you breathing while heaven waited for your yes. The fire is falling now. The Spirit is stirring. The anointing is being released. The doors are swinging open. And the check with your name is being extended one last time. Take it. Believe it. Obey. Surrender. Rise. It's being reactivated. The promises He made when you were still innocent, still trusting, still on fire, those promises are still alive. But they've been waiting for your full surrender. They've been waiting for your heart to break open and return to the place where it all began, at His feet. You may feel like you've gone too far. You may believe your time has passed. But God is speaking clearly to you now, no matter how long you've wandered, no matter how many detours you've taken, the road back is still open. And it leads straight into the center of His will for your life. You haven't missed your miracle. You haven't lost your inheritance. The check with your name on it has not been cancelled. But the urgency in heaven is increasing, because this moment is not just another chance, it may be the final invitation before the door closes. God is deeply serious about your future. He does not speak warnings unless something sacred is at stake. When He says, "Don't test my patience," He is not speaking from a place of anger that seeks to punish, but from the fierce love of a father who sees the edge you're standing on and refuses to let you fall without one last call. The tone of His voice is fire, but the heart behind it is mercy. He is crying out for you to turn now, because what is ahead requires a version of you that can no longer be half in, half out. You've been marked by heaven. Chosen. Appointed. And even in your rebellion, even in your running, that mark has not lifted. That is why you still feel Him tugging on your heart late at night. That is why you can't fully enjoy the things that used to numb you. That is why certain people were removed from your life, even when you tried to hold on. Because God's hand is heavy on your life, not to crush you, but to carry you back to where you belong. Your calling is not casual. Your life was never meant to be ordinary. There is a weight to who you are in the Spirit. And that weight cannot rest on a foundation of compromise. That's why the shaking has come. That's why certain things fell apart. That's why doors closed. God wasn't punishing you. He was purging what couldn't go with you into the next season. If you know deep down this is confirmation for your spirit, comment 777 right now to mark this moment of holy realignment. Why was this 7-second brain ritual hidden for so long? A leaked CIA document exposed a technique so powerful people are canceling debt and calling in wealth within days. Validated by 4 neuroscience labs, it helps attract money like never before. But this page may not stay online for long. Click the link in the pinned comments before it disappears forever. The check of $787 million is not just a picture of abundance. It's a representation of everything that has been stored up for you, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, even physically, that the enemy has been trying to keep from your hands. It represents divine restoration. It represents the harvest from seeds you don't even remember planting. It represents God's covenant with you, and the moment your obedience collides with His faithfulness, you will see doors open you couldn't have opened on your own. But this release doesn't come through passivity. It doesn't come through wishful thinking. It comes through full surrender. It comes through obedience that costs something. It comes when you stop looking at how much time you've lost and start focusing on how much grace is still available. It comes when you say, God, even if I have nothing left to offer but my brokenness, I'll still give it all to you. The devil is terrified of that kind of surrender. Because he knows it only takes one moment, one real moment, for God to turn everything around. He knows that if you respond right now, the fire will return. The clarity will return. The oil will begin to flow again. The chains that have wrapped themselves around your mind will break in an instant. And that's why there's been so much noise. So much confusion. So many voices in your head telling you to wait, to delay, to ignore this feeling. But none of those voices are God. His voice is here. Now. And He's not asking for a future version of you. He's asking for the broken, tired, confused version of you reading this right now. Because that's the one He loves. That's the one He died for. That's the one He's still fighting for. There is something supernatural being released in this very hour, and it will not wait for you to feel ready. It will respond to your yes. Not the perfect yes, but the surrendered one. You may not know how to get back to where you were spiritually, but the truth is, God is not trying to take you back. He's trying to take you forward. Into something greater. Something deeper. Something eternal. Heaven is watching how you respond right now. Angels are being dispatched based on your obedience. Breakthroughs are being unlocked. Closed chapters are being rewritten. Your future is shifting because your spirit is finally waking up again. And when God says this is the final warning, He's not trying to instill fear. He's trying to protect you from missing the moment that changes everything. Don't let pride stop you. Don't let shame hold you back. Don't let your past speak louder than God's promise. You are not what you did. You are not what they said. You are not the mistake you made. You are still the one heaven rejoices over. You are still the one Jesus bled for. You are still the one God is calling home. And when you come, He will not shame you. He will not scold you. He will run toward you. He will wrap you in grace. He will restore you. He will pour fresh oil on your head. He will sit you at the table you thought you lost your seat at. Because that's who He is. That's what His mercy does. That's the power of His love. So let this be the moment. Let this be the turning point. Let this be the day heaven records as the day you returned. As the day you said, God, I'm done playing games. I'm done testing your mercy. I'm done pushing the limit. I'm here. I'm yours. Do whatever you want with me. That is not the reason He formed you in secret, breathed His breath into your lungs, and protected you through battles you didn't even know were happening. You were never meant to stay stuck, lost, numb, or distant from His voice. And that's why this message is reaching you now. God is reclaiming what belongs to Him, your heart, your calling, your yes. This is not an accident. It's not a coincidence that you're reading this. This is heaven breaking into your timeline with an urgency that can't be ignored. When God says, "Don't test my patience," He is not pushing you away, He is pulling you closer. It is the cry of a father who sees the weight your soul is carrying and is refusing to let you keep walking with it. His anger is not cruel. It is holy. It is fierce mercy. It is a consuming fire, meant to burn away what was never meant to stay. You may not see the battle, but the war around your destiny has intensified. That's why it has felt heavier lately. That's why the silence has been louder. That's why you felt the pull in your spirit even when your mind tried to push it away. The check in your name is still valid, still waiting, still holy. It represents everything God has spoken over your life: restoration, calling, peace, provision, favor, redemption. But this kind of release requires full surrender. Not surface-level prayers. Not half-hearted worship. But full, soul-deep obedience. There is a weight on these words because they are not meant to entertain your mind, they are meant to shift your spirit. Something in you already knows this is different. This is not just another encouragement. This is a divine interruption. You've been feeling disconnected because you've been out of position. The blessing has not left you. The presence has not abandoned you. But your heart has wandered, and now God is calling you back, not just with gentle whispers, but with fire in His voice. The enemy has been working in the silence, convincing you to stay still, to stay asleep, to stay distracted. But this moment is heaven's alarm clock. The Spirit of God is waking you up before the enemy wins what he was never meant to hold. He doesn't win when you fall. He wins when you stay down. And every time you ignore the tug in your soul, every time you silence the whisper that says, "Come back," He takes another step. But right now, in this moment, you can stop Him. With one yes. With one act of obedience. With one step of surrender. If you feel the stirring in your spirit and you know this is a call back to your true identity, comment 999 as your faith response. Can 7 seconds really change your bank account? A CIA-funded study just leaked, revealing a brain ritual that flips lives from broke to blessed. 4 neuroscience labs confirm it activates powerful wealth brainwaves. People are stepping into dream homes and luxury lifestyles. But this breakthrough won't stay online for very long. Click the link in the comments before it's deleted. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to undo the past. You don't need to understand the full path. All God needs is your yes. Your honest, broken, surrendered yes. Because that's the kind of heart He can use. That's the kind of heart that cashes the check. That's the kind of obedience that unlocks miracles. This is not about earning blessings. This is not a transaction. It's a transformation. And it begins when you stop treating holy moments like background noise. This is sacred. This is weighty. This is a defining moment. And even if no one else around you is responding, even if no one else sees what you're carrying, heaven sees you. God sees you. He knows exactly what's at stake. He knows what's been trying to suffocate your faith, what's been pressing against your purpose, and what's been whispering lies in your silence. But He also knows who you really are. He remembers the moments you prayed with tears in your eyes. He remembers the times you obeyed when it cost you everything. He remembers the fire you used to carry. And He's not done with that version of you. In fact, He's ready to raise something even greater in you. But you must come back. Not halfway. Not eventually. Now. Every delay has been costly. Every compromise has chipped away at your identity. Every moment you chose silence over surrender has made it harder to hear His voice. But the beautiful truth is this: He's still speaking. And not only that, He's still writing. Your story is not finished. This chapter is not the final one. The check is still yours. The door is still open. The Father is still waiting. But He will not wait forever. This is your hour of decision. Not next week. Not after you feel stronger. Now. Because you don't need more strength, you need surrender. You don't need more clarity, you need trust. And when you give Him your full yes, something shifts. Not just around you, but within you. Your spirit aligns. Your heart softens. The weight lifts. The fire returns. The devil has done everything he can to make you think this moment doesn't matter. That it's just another message. Just another scroll. Just another emotional pull. But he's lying. Because he knows the truth. He knows that one real encounter with God changes everything. And this is that moment. This is your encounter. This is your wake-up call. This is your final warning wrapped in mercy. Let the tears come. Let the trembling in your chest be your answer. Let the weight of God's voice break the chains that have kept you quiet. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not too late. But you must decide now. This is the final hour before the door of this moment closes. Heaven is serious. The Spirit is speaking. Your name is still written. But your yes is required. This is not a threat. It's a lifeline. The fire you're feeling is not punishment, it's the presence of a God who loves you enough to interrupt everything. The pressure you feel is not heaviness, it's the weight of glory ready to fall. But it cannot fall on a divided heart. It cannot flow through hands that still grip sin. It cannot break through where pride still builds walls. So open up. Let go. Say yes. Fall at His feet again. Say, God, I don't want to test you anymore. I want to trust you again. That's all He's waiting for. And the moment that confession leaves your lips, the heavens will move. The angels will respond. The atmosphere around your life will shift. Because nothing in all creation is stronger than a surrendered heart in the hands of a faithful God.